So here is what might be an unpopular opinion. I personally am not enjoying these recent Pokemon designs of the 8th and 9th generation. I can't pinpoint the exact reason, but I barely liked any of the Gen 8 and 9 Pokemon. The big exception being the regional variants, those are always fire. In my mind, there's just a big drop in quality from Gens 1 and 7 designs to Gens 8 and 9, I don't know. And also, so many of them I kinda like, but then definitely dislike the evolutions. But with that in mind, I mostly enjoy Pokemon through older games, like Gens 1 through 7, and the 3DS era is my era. So that's why I'm starting this 1% Pokemon series in the older gens, and this episode will be in Crystal. So let's go over the rules of the run. I can only use 1% Pokemon in battle. I need to catch all 1% Pokemon before I beat the game and defeat the champion, and no items in battle. So let's get started on the 1% Crystal run. So we start off the game with this cute little Totodile, but don't worry, this Totodile is going to be sent to the Shadow Realm soon enough, because luckily, before even the first gym, there is a 1% Pokemon. In Dark Cave, a super cool Dunsparce. I absolutely love Dunsparce, and a quick fun fact is I best buddied a shiny lucky one in Pokemon Go and named it Larry because I thought it was a funny name for a Dunsparce. And Larry was a gym leader in Scarlet and Violet that had a Dunsparce, and I saw a Dunsparce for the first time ever when I was beating Larry, and it was so cool and crazy. But Dark Cave is completely dark, and we do not have flash, so we gotta run around on only 4 tiles to find a Dunsparce. But we find a Dunsparce on the 57th encounter, and Totodile knocked out the Dunsparce with a critical hit. So I definitely don't feel bad leaving Totodile for dead after this. But we meet up with our second Dunsparce on the 134th encounter, and Totodile actually did something right, and we were able to catch this one and add it to our team. And I'm gonna go with a positive affirmation adjective theme for the names, and I named this Dunsparce Ace. So Falkner is the first gym, and he specializes in flying types, and I was able to beat him in 2 attempts with a level 9 Ace. And I didn't bother to look up what Rage does, but Rage is a good move, and spamming it just worked. It'll be a minute until I get another team member, so it's on to Bugsy, and this took 2 attempts because the first attempt I decided to go in with Ace being poisoned because I was super confident and failed, but we beat him on the second attempt at level 19. And we gotta do another gym leader with only Ace on our team, and we have the legend herself, Whitney. Now Whitney is supposed to be super hard with her Miltank and Clefairy and the Miltank using Rollout, but this was seriously not that bad. I guess Dunsparce is just the absolute best Pokemon ever, but it only took us 2 attempts and Ace being level 23. I would talk about my strategy throughout this battle, but Rage. That is my strategy. Now it's gonna get really fun because after Whitney, we actually are able to get another teammate. And this teammate is what I think is one of the most famous 1% encounters in all of Pokemon. The super iconic 1% Yanma on Route 35 in Johto. I'm totally ready to grind for a while for this Yanma because it is so worth it. So I got on the route, I defeated someone in the grass, I ran around, I encountered a Hoot Hoot, and I was ready to start. And then the next encounter was the Yanma. 2 encounters to get this 1% Pokemon. This is by far the quickest I've ever done and will ever do. Only 2 encounters is absolutely insane, and I don't want to hurt this delicate little dragonfly, so I throw 6 Great Balls, but it is not getting in any of the balls. So I decide to hit it with Rage, and I was good. It went not halfway, so I hit it with Rage again to get it in red, and I knocked out the Yanma. That was so disappointing. I found it at only 2 encounters. It would have been awesome to catch it then. Well, we find another one after 68 encounters, and I do only 1 Rage, and then throw a Great Ball, and we are adding Yanma to the team with the nickname of Star. And now Star's gotta put in some work because our Dunsparce is double the level, so we encounter a Tangela, and I thought, what a perfect matchup, right? But Yanma's moveset is so bad. It's Gen 2, look at all this, is horrible. The only flying attack is all the way at level 37, and there's not a single bug attacking move in its moveset. How disappointing. I like Yanma, but I'm not a miracle worker, so we'll see what we can do for now. But moving on, we have the Ghost Gym, and normal moves are not gonna work, and Yanma only has Tackle and Quick Attack. It does have Foresight, but I'd have to set it up on each Pokemon, and Yanma is gonna die before that happens. So Dunsparce is gonna have to carry the team, which is fine because his whole team is weak to Mud Slap. It's silly that he doesn't have a Mischievous, but nevertheless, he does a disgusting combo with Hypnosis, Curse, and Dream Eater. You just can't attack and you're just taking damage the whole time. Morty is a piece of work. So I go to defeat some trainers around the gym and I got Hidden Power on my Yanma, but it was Hidden Power fighting, so pretty useless. And we go back to Morty, and finally after 6 attempts we beat Morty. I don't know why everyone talks about Whitney. Morty is the real super hard boss of Johto. Next is the gym leader Chuck though, and you need strength to get to him. So in an attempt to teach strength to my Dunsparce, I accidentally deleted the move Rage. Safe to say I cried myself to sleep that night. But at least Chuck was easy and we beat it in the first attempt. No thanks to Yanma because he doesn't have a single flying type move. But the next gym with Jasmine might just be Yanma's time to shine with that aforementioned Hidden Power fighting. Another day, another Dunsparce carry because our snake is way better than Jasmine's snake, and we beat her in one attempt with half the team. Now, Johto is known for atrocious level scaling, and when we get to the Rocket Hideout, our level 45 ace was battling level 17 Pokemon, which proves there was some flaw in this game, but it's actually the perfect opportunity to train Yanma. So after the Rocket Hideout, we have Price, and the Rocket Hideout did good job for Yanma. We got a couple levels in there, and not much to say about Price, just an easy first try victory with Yanma actually contributing somewhat. Not really, but he's there, and that's all you can ask for. So, believe it or not, but we're not done with the 1% encounter Pokemon. I know, right? It's not just Dunsparce and Yanma the whole game. There are 4 of them in Johto, and even though we have 7 gym badges and I'm almost done, we got 2 more team members to get, and they're both in the same location. In Ice Path, after 138 encounters, we are greeted with our 3rd team member, Sneasel. I am super excited to use this Sneasel. I think Sneasel is so cool, and the Gen 2 sprite is really awesome, and we name her Winner. Hopefully Winner won't be as useless as some members on the team, but here's a quick gripe I have with this game. Too many Pokemon have Supersonic, from Magnemites to Goldines to, of course, Zubat. It's too much. Being confused is super frustrating and really annoying. Going forth, we gotta get into the Dragon's Den, and I didn't really quite remember how to get into the Dragon's Den, so I looked it up and it said you had to submit an application, and it turns out Dragon's Den is the British Shark Tank, so I thought that was funny. But to get into the Pokemon Dragon's Den, we gotta go to Goldenrog and beat Team Rocket, and during this escapade, I realized Sneasel is the exact opposite of Yanma. Her moveset is great. I mean, Feint Attack and Icy Wind are really good, and those 2 moves are better than all 4 of Yanma's moves. Yanma catching so many strays this video. It's just, I really wanted to use Yanma, but it's so bad. It needs like an evolution or something. So Claire was an easy battle, and each member got to contribute somewhat, with, of course, our Snake Dragon beating out her cooler looking dragons, but Dunsparce is not one to be intimidated. With that, every gym leader is beat, and we just have the Elite Four to go to, but before that, we got our final team member that honestly I was not very thrilled about because it's one of my least favorite Pokemon, but it is a shiny Golbat. Whoa! I didn't think I would ever run into a full odds pre-Gen 6 shiny odds shiny, but this is awesome. And right after that is our target, Jinx. After 199 encounters, keeping with the theme, we name her Best, even though she's not the best. Now, as we make it through Victory Road, I have to tell you, this is only my 2nd YouTube video ever. I work so hard on this content. I also run a TikTok and an Instagram, and I'm on the grind to become a Pokemon content creator, and I just started a YouTube channel, so if you enjoyed any bit of this video, a subscribe would be phenomenal. Now for the Elite Four, which are difficult beasts, and the first 5 attempts were to perfect this strategy and see which team member is going to take on which Pokemon. And the first member is Will, and we find something very interesting, is that Jinx is actually such a powerhouse Pokemon. I was sleeping on her because, of course I was, but the moves and the power are A tier. And he uses Psychic type, so Jinx's Shadow Ball is all that we need to beat him. Koga's Crobat is really difficult though, with a mixture of great moves and great speed, and was responsible for a lot of failed runs. It outmatches my Sneasel for sure, but we got Jinx on our team, and Jinx has carried these first 2 Elite Four members. Sneasel's Icy Wind was not doing a lot, but Jinx's Ice Punch was doing a lot. On the 5th attempt of the Elite Four, something incredible happened. Yanma learned Wing Attack. It could bring a tear to my eye. So Yanma leads the charge and manages to take out Hitmontop and Hitmonchan from Bruno. I couldn't be more proud. This is all I wanted the whole game, is for Yanma to shine. Since Jinx and Yanma have done a lot so far, with Karen, the Dark-type specialist, I lead with Sneasel and take her down with a cameo from Ace, who at this point is like, forgettable. Who? And we reach Lance on the 6th attempt, and a final swift win by Jinx because most of his Pokemon are weak to Ice-type moves. The true best member, we have beat Crystal with only 1% Pokemon. Thank you for watching.